boy. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're back. I literally unplugged one thing from the computer and everything unplugged. Screen went black. And I was like, oh, great. Here we go. Good start. Anyways, Judd'z Budz episode. Who gives a shit? Judd'z Budz episode, whatever. Actually, no, you put it on the Google Doc. Hold on. 207, allegedly. As always, Spokesy, joined by my good buddy, Mr. at State of Hoppy. Hoppy, how we doing?
Low on sleep, but otherwise we're okay. It is very weird and empty that there is just zero hockey tonight. They didn't rush a series overlapping round 3 to round 2, and we didn't have any hockey on Sunday.
I hate it.
It's normal.
It is weird, how fast after the first round, then you're like, wait, okay, we don't have playoff hockey from noon till 1 a.m. Okay. It is fat. I get so fired up for it, and then all of a sudden, one series ends, and it's like, oh. Or there's 2 different sweeps in the same round. It's like, oh, okay, this blows, actually. Don't like this. But yeah, no, also low on sleep. I think I'm rocking about 53 minutes last night. It's good. Then he had a nice 90s.
That's average for you.
Yeah, that may be true. Still extremely unhealthy and ill-advised.
Yes.
It's going to keep happening, apparently. But anyway. But yeah, no, I was less than an hour of sleep last night.
You got a different microphone going now, too. You sound different.
No, you're not going to fuck with me.
I take it back.
Anyways.
Now you sound okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe there was just a weird little glitch there, but yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, no, nice 3.5 mile walk to work, 96-degree heat. Then I almost died on the way home. I felt like I was in the middle of an Oklahoma Twister event. And then I almost fought a cop, almost got arrested. And then I got home. And then the power went out when I got back because the fuse box here just blows if you fucking use the microwave sometimes. So that's always fun. But anyways, other than that, play was great.
Yeah, vibes are high.
I'm down bad.
Feels
sports,
like everybody is.
I hate sports. Countries go to hell.
Power rankings. I want to hear your top 5 grievances with sports in the past week.
It's the Premier League. Tottenham could have fucking just got 1 point today and saved themselves from relegation. They fucked that up. On the same day, Arsenal wins the league. The worst organization, fan base, they are, and obviously it's Tottenham's arch nemesis, the North London derby. I think Tottenham is going to lose on Sunday. West Ham will pull something off against Leeds, and I think we're going to have to fucking be relegated. It's going to be insane. It's the worst thing of all time. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate my life. And I think as that once, I think that it was a Trill Withers tweet. You got to be a fucking idiot to like sports. It's I am feeling that the last 2 weeks. Begrudgingly, I don't know why I did this. That's a great jersey. The Vandervaart jersey. It's a phenomenal jersey.
Oh my goodness, the spelling is immaculate.
Yeah. Raphael Vandervaart.
That makes it even better. Raphael.
He was so good.
I
love him. Anyways, we can stop talking about the Premier League. I'm gonna fucking nope, not allowed to say that.
So give me is it strictly Premier League that has you down?
It is the worst thing of all time, and probably one of the worst things that's ever happened to the world. So yeah, probably. I think Arsenal winning by itself would have been. I may shut it down for 2 weeks because they're just terrible people. And I don't know how people are I don't know how they're American fans of Arsenal. And I'm sure we're gonna have someone say some shit. I already have fucking people tweeting at me. Someone DM'd me, LOL, you fucking loser. which made me, I'll be honest, that one made me laugh. All right, you know what? I would probably say that to someone else. Fair enough.
When it's that
I am a
simple,
loser. I am a loser.
When it's that basic, it's very funny. When someone comes at you and just like starts like throwing slurs and getting like really angry about it, it's like, dude, get a life. But when someone comes in, LOL, you loser, I'm like, damn it, guilty.
Yeah, when
guilty.
it's like a GIF, or if they use like 3 crying, laughing emojis, you are the biggest pigeon on the planet. Like, that is such a loser like tweet at someone. If you're like, that's what, like, I can't even call it a chirp. It's like, laughing emoji. Oh, shut the fuck up. Bag of milk. Anyways, it might be 1 through 5.
More positive things. Minnesota Wild hockey.
Great. Feeling good. I forgot that game 5 happened after we recorded last time, so I guess we can touch on it real quick. Not much.
Yeah. Pretty shitty.
Same way we started the show after game 4. Well, that sucked. And that was, you know what sucked really is the fact that sucks. I think what really sucked was like end of the first period, start of the second period. You knew it was coming, and you never feel good when you're like, they need that 4th goal. I mean, that is a terrible feeling. We need it. We need that 4th goal in Colorado against this fucking Avalanche team. Not going to happen. And they just stopped playing hockey. It looked like the whole series, it really did look like they gave everything they possibly could give in the Dallas series. Then they go down Eriksson and Brodin. And from there, it was like always going to be an uphill test. But like the way they went out was brutal. The combination of game 4 and game 5 was just atrocious.
It's almost criminal that Hynes did not ever call a player a jellyfish, because it felt like that was warranted at times. I'm trying to decide what's worse, though. The rise and fall from game 3 to game 4, or the rise and fall from the first period to the rest of the game in game 5. Like,
I go game 3 to game 4. Like, that was inexcusable. Like, and I mean, I think, but I listened to Russo on the band today, and I was at a fucking conniption.
There's your there's 3 through 5 of your sports issues. Actually, I gotta say, pretty tame for Tony Pants compared to many past episodes. Like I've definitely come out of episodes and been more bothered.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, specifically towards we'll talk about stuff that related to that in a little bit here. But for me, it is just the going from that performance in game 3, where like you go down 2-0 against any team, you're in one. But again, the old saying, series doesn't start, so you lose at home. And like the way they performed start to finish in game 3, it was like, you have an opportunity now. Like, it's going to be impossible to like completely replicate that performance in game 4. But in this series, we've seen now that you can score goals against this team. At times, you're able to fucking defend. And like just the complete no-show was just, then it was completely over. Like, again, you pull game 4 off, it is, they get your back even. And from there, like, you've shown that you can do it. But I mean, after game 4, it was just like, okay, so they really do have absolutely nothing. Like, they didn't even give you something to lean on in game 4. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't go into game 5 like, well,
at least we have this.
I think after game 4, when we recorded, we were like, well, if they do everything the exact opposite of the way they did it in game 4, love their odds. And it was just not going to happen. But
yeah, that's tough. Thomas Hynes, I'm generally asking, how do you physically and mentally come out like that in 4 in the playoffs? Yeah, game 4, there is no excuse. I mean, obviously, like, people want to keep throwing around like, hey, there's the human element. And I get that. These are professionals. Like, I'm sorry. If you want to use that as your excuse for game 1, I'm here for it. Okay. quick turnaround. Avalanche got some rest. You got the first series win. It feels like in franchise history, the way people talk about it. And if you want to say that that's why there was a bit of a skunker in game 1, even though we looked a hell of a lot better than we did in game 4, that there is no excuse. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And the way they started in game 5 and teased us and then let that slip away, just as embarrassing. It's insane. And yeah, Cole brings up here, haven't won a game after an emotional win, said Hynes. Is that a leadership issue or a coaching issue? And Joe and I did address this on the episode that went out today on Fellowship of the Rink. It feels like it's a player issue. And want to be crystal clear. Do I think that John Hynes should lose his job? No. Do I think there's plenty of room to criticize John Hynes? Absolutely. But there's a big onus on the players for a lot of what went down. And really, if I'm going to criticize John Hynes, it's going to be 2 key areas. First one, Jacob Middleton. Second one, and maybe we should spend a real good amount of time on this one, Z, because there's a lot of spider webs we can do off of it. How in God's name do you take Filip Gustavsson, who has one fucking hip, and play him in game 2 under any circumstance? I don't care if Wallstedt came to you and said, I don't want to play. You don't do that. How, unless the injury happened in game 2 and no one is aware of how, this is absurd. It is insane behavior that I cannot condone in any way. Go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think we talked about this a little bit as well, probably last time, but there were multiple layers to that decision that I was just left scratching my head. On one hand, part of me says, halfway through that game, you probably have a pretty good idea that you're going to go to Gus in game 2. And this comes with a caveat because they kept keeping themselves in this fucking game. Yeah. But even if they had pulled it off, something tells me you're going to Gus in game 2. They leave Wallstedt in the game the whole time. Gustafsson hasn't started at least in a month. And you're going to throw him down 1-0 against the Colorado Avalanche in Colorado when the guy hasn't played at all. You're not going to get him 10 minutes at the end of game 1, even if again you were in that game. You had an idea that you were probably going to go to Gustafsson, I would imagine. I would be wondering if that was even in the plans regardless of how game 1 went. I'm curious. I don't know. I can't say that for sure. And again, part of this is the fact that they did keep themselves in that game somehow. I mean, again, they were up 5-4 at one point with the shorty and then immediately gave it right back. But I don't know how they were just we're gonna throw Gus in for game 2, totally cold. And also, clearly the injury didn't happen in game 2 because he was in quicksand, start to finish. Right. It was a real head scratcher. It
was a head scratcher before we heard about the injury. Now right. It is malpractice. And I don't know what would be worse, if they willfully did this knowing that he needed hip surgery, or if they had no idea. That's probably worse.
When with this fucking organization, they're it's a shoulder.
I mean, dude, ask Chucky McAvoy.
Yeah. Actually, let's call him, dude.
Hang on. What did
some thoughts?
What'd Cole say? Look at what Colorado did game 5. Pulled the guy and came back and won. Not saying Hynes should lose his job, but my God, did he get outcoached? I think there's elements to that for sure. I do also think that there is only so much a coach can do. And I know a lot of times people will be like, oh, so they're tuning out the message. No, I don't think the guy's had it. I don't know. I don't know how else to rationalize what we saw on the ice for the majority of the team. And there were players that played well. Don't get me wrong, but majority of the team feels like absolute shit after this. We don't need to sit here and pound away at them for it. They know they're the ones that missed out on this opportunity. Like, you think we're pissed off and bummed out that there's not a game 6, game 7, maybe another series? These guys are gutted. And there's going to be a lot of soul searching. And there's decisions to make this summer of who stays, who goes. Are there guys under contract that need to be traded? But for me, the Gustavsson injury, on top of just being a colossal, mind-boggling, I don't know what, now we can't even go out and do any big game hunting this summer.
Yeah, I mean, I outside of that, like, I will say, as that series went on, I found myself scratching my head by more and more decisions made by John Hynes. And I'm not coming in like, gotta be fired. Like, I feel like that happens like every time. Like, any team loses a series, like, should the coach go? Like, okay, well, no. Like, couple things will always drive me nuts. It feels like there is a real lack of trust with young players unless he's absolutely forced into doing that. Again, like, the only reason Danila Yurov came back in that lineup was then Eriksson Ek went out. And then eventually goes to McCarron on that second line center. And again, that's one thing. That's like a smaller thing. It was unconscionable to fucking go back to fucking Spurgeon and Middleton.
Yes. No,
unconscionable.
Completely agree.
They were the worst defensive pairing I've ever seen in my life in the playoffs.
Went away, like, learned, and then he's like, well, what if I tried again?
Like, David Hunt and Spurgeon were good together.
Hunt was playing well. Guy didn't hit double-digit minutes. That again, if we're going to criticize that and the goaltending decision, are my biggest blunders from John Hynes, hands down. There's definitely other areas. What's your other big one?
I know that they rely on Quinn Hughes for offense. They don't want to lean on him defensively, but when you've seen what that D-core has been putting up with a minute and a half left in the fucking third period in game 5, you can't put him on the ice in the last minute and a half defending lead. You can't.
I guarantee you they want to be.
Yeah. How? Yeah. Given the entire playoffs. And I feel bad ripping on Middleton because I love the guy. But wow, what a bad. Like, I mean, this playoffs was shocking.
Mateo, don't be so shy, dude. You can throw good comments into the chat, too. It doesn't have to just be in our private chat. He brings up a good point about speed, which was a big issue for me. Like, clearly, not just against the Avalanche, like against any team, but especially against the Avalanche, speed was a concern. It's a measurable gap.
Another thing we talked about last week, too. He had opportunity.
We did nothing to address it. Nothing.
I was like, what about more meat? Like, what if we just get bigger and slower in the fucking Avalanche series?
Like, if we just throw all the meat at McCarr, his shoulder will fall off. It has to. Yeah, also, it needs to be said, Z. A lot of people like complaining, like, oh, like we didn't have Ek and Brody. And yeah, like those are critical playoff pieces for the Wild. Avalanche had plenty of injuries too. Like, this was a team that we absolutely should have contended with for 6 or 7 games, if not beaten, if we don't have, like we talked about last week, a myriad of endless fuck ups, both coaching, playing, whatever. But all that to say, like, gives a lot of hope for the future. Like, this team isn't crazy far off. The problem is we don't have much at our disposal to make changes this summer. And I know that's what we're going to spend a lot of this episode on, I'm sure, but like, we're right there on the edge. Like, this is the starts of a true contender. And I've people that have listened to us for the last 5 years know that I've been so critical of the Wild. I've never, ever viewed them as even sniffing contention. This year is different. This is a good team. And that's why it hurts more. And that's why we're being even more critical of the outcome. Because, like, we actually had a sense of, holy shit, like, we can actually have some fun here. But, dude,
Yeah, and again, like you look at Game 5, and like the goals down the stretch are unbelievably frustrating. Like McKinnon makes that shot, but right before that, they fucking ice the puck, unforced. Before that, there's like failed turnovers, and like failure to clear their own end again. Again, part of that is the Avalanche being very good at forcing those turnovers, but there were so many that were just unforced, can't clear it, or icing, completely unforced. And those all lead to those goals against. And it's just like that's the shit to me where it's like it's half the players just being exhausted, but it's just like another part of that is just like you have to know that you're making that play. And sometimes it's just like who's on the ice at the end of these games sometimes. Like I don't know how you can't bring yourself to put Quinn Hughes on the ice the last minute and a half. I don't care. Like just because it's me, I'm going to do this again. The Boston Bruins put David Pastrnak on the ice when they're defending a 1-goal lead late in games. And half the time his job is to like try to get the puck and shoot. Half the time it works. Half the time it doesn't. Rarely does it end up in the back of their own net. They find a way to blow leads in other ways by just like basically shooting on themselves. That happened 3 times this year, literally shooting on themselves. It's great. Yeah. It's really fun to watch. But like, that's what I'm talking like. I know he had already played 32 minutes in the regulation. Guess what? The guy can fucking probably play fucking 60. He probably can just keep going. He's a freak. I just don't get how you can't have some of those guys on the ice late close, especially when no one else that apparently, no one else in your back end, apparently you're willing to give minutes to. Like no one else has really given you a reason to have them out there. Like at what point we're like, who gives us a really good chance to defend this lead? Jake Middleton, not Quinn Hughes. And again, I really do hate like shitting on these guys, but it's just like to me, it was just sitting there like
it's not even shitting on him. It's shitting on like Jake Middleton didn't decide to go out on the ice. That's a coaching decision. Like Middleton knows he had a shit series. He's very aware. Like we don't need to tell him. He is going to have a shitty summer, and I feel bad for him because he's an awesome dude. Like easily 101 pick if you're just looking for guys to hang out with on this Minnesota Wild team. But the decisions to play him and deploy him the way that they did, especially after veering away from
and finding success.
Like, you know what?
Having success. Look, it's fucking crazy.
Stupid.
It drives me nuts, man.
Yeah, that was crazy. That's like that and the game to Gustavsson, like so many things around that decision. Hard to forgive.
Yeah, and again, like I can understand you have a rookie goaltender has like a first game where it's like out of control bad. Like every time they were like dumping the puck in, I was nervous.
But again, they know
not in this like outside of the context that we have, I would understand. Especially when you have a goaltender in Gustavsson who you looked at most of the regular season.
Yeah.
Excellent. Can totally get that. But he's injured. He hasn't played in a month. And you're going to stick him in a game. You're just going to... And clearly, like, I remember Russo was talking about, like, Boston was pissed. I would have been pissed if he was just, like, leaving me out the dry for 8. But, like, bro, get me out of here. But, like, clearly wasn't really a conversation there. And it was just, like, I don't know how you land there. Like, so with all the context, it was like just mind blowing to see that that's where the direction that they went.
Yeah.
But again, like outside of knowing all of these things, outside, like if you have no context, I would understand going to Gus for game 2. I would totally get it. But with the context that they have, we had, it's unbelievable to me.
Yep. And going back to a point that we kind of brushed over, like this Gustavsson surgery pretty much means that he's not getting traded, and neither is Jesper Wallstedt. Bill Guerin says, "Oh, there's always a way." Like, sure, dude, but like, no. Like, I brought up a hypothetical that I know I've brought up on here before with Joe on our Fellowship of the Rink today too. But like, the only move that I can come up with is like something structured around, let's take Jonas Brodin and send him to Edmonton for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Like, that's the closest I can get to kind of solving 1C. You tell me if, like, is there any other idea? I want to see it in the chat. Like, does anyone have a center in mind that we have the assets to afford and, like, can actually serve as somewhat of a 1C?
I mean, like, and you asked a couple weeks ago or a month ago or something like that. Last time you guys talked to Scott Wheeler, you straight up asked, was like, if you look at like what the Minnesota Wild have in their pool, you look at all the assets that they have, do they even have anything close to like being able to pull off in your mind, like a trade for like a blue chip number one center, top 6 center?
No, it was specifically for Austin Matthews. He's like, no fucking chance.
No, they don't. I know Matthews just keeps coming up, just given the like how that whole situation is playing out right now.
Not happening.
And like everyone's like, oh, they got the first overall pick, so obviously now Matthews. I'm like, I don't think he gives a shit about that. But like, I don't think it was ever happening in the first place. But like, in no world do they have, even if like both Gus and Walter were healthy, you still don't really have the necessary assets to pull that off.
You could.
It's closer. World. I also don't know if like this summer is the move to go and do that. Anyways.
I think it is just because the pressure's on now. Like, winning one round won't be enough. I think that if we could trade a goalie, and I'm not going to say which one you should or shouldn't trade because there's a lot of pros and cons to both sides, but think about going to a team like Florida, who has a higher pick than usual that they probably don't give two shits about, needs a goalie. Like, you can make something work there. And now you've at least got respectable futures that you can package in. Like, that's going to get a team excited. Especially, like, let's say it's a Robert Thomas, right? And you got the Blues who are trying to turn stuff around. Like, that number 9 pick is a lot more enticing than a Stramel and a Urov, right? Now, again, I think Wallstedt almost has to be the headliner for any kind of significant trade at the end of the day, but I do think there are teams that if Gustavsson was healthy, like, there's plenty of value there. You got to get multiple teams interested, though, because if it's just one team bidding, they know they got you by the balls. And yeah, Cole, I wish we could get Larkin. I think he's such a perfect fit, but there's just not. I don't see how. Especially like the Red Wings are the last team that's going to trade for a goalie. They got to trade a goalie away right now.
They bring in 15 every fucking summer. It's crazy. And the last one that Cole threw in the chat, that's my guy, Nico Hischier. I love that kid. There's been a whole lot of speculation about his future in New Jersey as is. But I still, you look at the free agent market, nothing that you're willing to like throw huge dollars at. And, you know, there's like certain centers that are in theory that could be available. And I still just look at them like, I'm not sure if the juice is worth the squeeze right now. And obviously, yes, now the Gustafsson thing, that the Gustafsson injury, at least start of the year, unless you want to like bring in a serviceable backup, which I mean, they might have to do anyways at this point. Yeah. Who knows how much time he's going to miss.
But that's my bigger issue too with this. Now, not only do we not have a 1C to go after, you know, Thomas Hynes brought this up earlier, and I'm right there with him and being worried. Like, dude, I don't think
he's not coming back. He's not coming back.
So now we don't have
he basically
we don't have a backup. Like
he basically volunteered that information like halfway through the year.
Right.
It's like, holy shit.
Our whole goalie situation is
like oh my
turmoil right now. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, again, like I look at it, and this is something that we can probably just like transition into this in general. But I look at this fucking roster. I look at the RFAs, the UFAs, and then some of the guys towards the end of their deals. But like, I would be moving a whole lot of pieces off this roster, and it's not realistic. You can't fucking take out the entire fucking locker room like anyone over that. You're not going to fucking do that, obviously.
Right.
But like, I don't know how they can look at this roster and be like, what if we keep all the middle 6 guys and then our best players outside of a handful, we could get rid of them to bring in maybe that number one. I just don't see that happening. So I'm more about looking at guys who it's going to be tough because a lot of them do have that no trade, no move protection. But like, I wonder if you have to start just by collecting assets, like middling assets, and like work your way through that way. Because I just don't see a scenario where they could pull off not in the summer. Like, I would be shocked now if St. Louis is still entertaining Robert Thomas. Like, trades.
I think that
you look at
like
the contracts they just gave out.
Yeah. I think they were just sitting there and hoping that someone would come out with just a fuck off kind of offer.
They said that.
Okay,
I mean, they said as much.
Right. So, like, I don't think he was ever really being floated.
Yeah.
In fairness, but still, we can put a lid on that one. But for me, it does need to be said that the UFAs, RFAs, a lot of these guys, like, if you look at them in a vacuum, most of them warrant consideration to be brought back. But to your point, if we're bringing back most of them and we're rolling out the same team,
it's the same fucking team.
Big fucking problem for me.
This is what I was having a conniption about. This is what I was having a fucking conniption about listening to the podcast earlier. And it wasn't even like I did that. It was just like, oh yeah, to bring it back probably. But I was like, no, we can't fucking keep doing that.
And like Joe was saying a lot throughout our discussion today on like the UFA, RFA stuff. Everyone's going to have a number for sure. Like you're going to bring guys back at a discount because they fill roles, they're comfortable, and hey, save money. But like, if everyone's willing to come back at the discounted price and you actually pull the trigger and keep them all, I'm going to fucking lose my mind. It's that simple. Now, Again, we can make arguments for a lot of these players. Let's just go one by one here on Mateo's list. All right. Vlad Tarasenko sounds like he was battling some stuff down the stretch, and like the start of the season, bad, like ugly. Like people were cursing Bill Guerin for bringing him in,
which is funny. Which is funny because he was free.
Yeah,
it's funny. I'm like, who cares?
Back half of the season, he rocked. Like low key, he
hit 20.
Yeah, it was pretty much all the second half of the year.
Remember when we were doing this in the preseason? We were like even then, some of the reaction, like, why the fuck would you trade for? Like, well, they literally didn't. Like, it was futures. Like, it was like, who's a free player is paying the salary, and like when you make basically no moves because you can't really make any big moves in the summer, like that's not a bad fucking gamble to make. And like it fucking, we were both like, if he hits 15, that's like almost like a pipe dream at this point in his career. And like the way it's gone downhill a little bit, given the fact that he's had some of those major shoulder injuries, and it's like it doesn't seem like there's a decent chance he's going to hit 20, 25 again. And he's put up over 20 goals this year. Holy shit. Great. That being said, thank you for your service. No way.
I'm not saying no way. I'm leaning no, but
okay, sorry, I should
who else is being brought back is going to be my real question, right? Like if this one or two players are brought back, then no. If not, okay, I'm listening, especially if he comes back for the right price and he's happy to be here, you know? Nick Foligno.
But listen, assume it no. I love him. I love him to death. What did we talk about in this Colorado series? Speed. And like, there were plenty of games once he was in the lineup this year when they acquired him. Served the purpose, was really good in a couple games, scored a couple goals in the playoffs, had good moments. I totally understand the Foligno thing, and he wants to come back, and he's like a fucking phenomenal guy in the locker room. For me, if you wanted, again, so much of this depends on how many of these guys you're legitimately trying to bring back.
100%.
I need room for some of these fucking kids that are ready to play.
Absolutely. We will pound this drum forever. And Nick Foligno, the toughest part for me is there's so much respect for him. And like we make the jokes, like people are talking about going after Boone Jenner now. It's like we're literally just collecting all of the captains. But
no rule.
Is Nick Foligno comfortable? And will the team be comfortable telling him that he's sitting out half the games? Like, if you're bringing him back to play every night, I don't care if he's taking league minimum. Like, I'm out. No, thank you. Awesome dude by all accounts. I've never met him, so I can't say that from personal experience. But like, if he wants to have one last hoorah, like be on a contending team, play with his brother, do the whole thing. Maybe it motivates Marcus a little bit. Like, I'm cool with it, but he has to be comfortable being benched if his play warrants it or if another player's play pushes him out. And if the team isn't going to be comfortable doing that, I am 100% out.
Yep. I'm still out. Just, I can't. At a certain point, we're going to make arguments for all these players to go back. I'm like, okay, so we're going to ice the same team again. And again, there's plenty. There's a handful of guys in Iowa or guys that are be coming in this year that I want to see in this lineup at least more regularly than they have been. Like, I want Hunter Haight in this lineup.
Cole makes an incorrect point here, saying that dumping Huznadinov for nothing is really coming back to bite us a little bit. We gave him up for a stallion, a thoroughbred in Justin Brazeau, and we gave him away for nothing. Shameful. But yes, we're all very upset about the Huznadinov trade. It's fucking dumb. I do want to call out, because Thomas, awesome engagement. He's been asking a ton of good questions. I disagree with his comment that he just made. I think there is one player that absolutely is worth more than $2 million a year besides Mac as well. I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And let's talk about him now.
Zuccarello?
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that he like deserves crazy money, but like $3 or $4 million for another year or two, like I'm giving that to Zuccarello every fucking time. I don't even care at this point. Honestly, what I'm sitting here waiting for is watch like Philly sack up and give him like a 6x3 to come over and be like the Russian whisperer for Mishkov, just like he's been with Kaprizov. Like, I think that would actually be like a big dick swing move for Danny Briere. I would respect the hell out of it.
That would rule.
It's like, well, it worked for Kirill. Like, we can fix this guy, right? We're gonna bring in the Norwegian Russian whisperer.
Yeah.
I will be floored if Zuccarello is not signed to at least a 2-year extension.
I was going to say at most 2 years.
I think 2 or 3. I think 2 is the sweet spot for sure, but I think maybe he takes less for 3, or maybe that's what pushes. I don't know. I don't know where his head's going to be at, but like, I know people were down on him early this year, parts of last year. Like, you can't argue with the dynamic.
He's just been putting up 50 and 60 points. Like,
yeah,
at 37, 38 years old.
And I think it speaks more to like what's problematic with Kirill Kaprizov, that we saw him completely disappear without Zuccarello. But I think you can look at it kind of split lens. Like, yes, that scares me a little bit with Kaprizov, but it is also just that much more of a reinforcement of like Zuccarello does fucking matter.
Yeah, I also had times in the playoffs, or at least like the couple games in Dallas when Zuccarello was out of the lineup. I was like, maybe it's just me wanting to incorporate younger players, but I was like, weirdly, this is like I think part of it
would be fine with me.
Part of me was just like, this is kind of driving my idea that I would flirt with not bringing him back, because whatever, was he 38 now? But I mean, again, putting up 50, 60 points, but like, and he has a great dynamic with Kaprizov. Obviously, we see what happens, but like, that's not good if we're going to start year one of the $17 million contract, and it's like, well, he doesn't have Zuccarello, so we don't know how it's going to go. Yep. I was like, well, I mean, if you're going to tell me that there's no way that as we start incorporating some of these younger players, we'll see who they can acquire through trade or free agency or whatever they want to pull off. Like, you're going to tell me that there's no way he could match that kind of production if he's on the same line as like a fucking Matt Boldy. again, like you would love to keep them separated, but you don't have the depth to do that. Or well, if Zuccarello is not in the lineup, you don't really have the luxury to, I guess.
Oh man.
So my whole thing is like I'm trying to not bring back the exact same goddamn roster. So I'm going to be like very much debating how many of the guys that are over 33, 34, 35 I want back next year.
Well, and again, let's work through all of these and just kind of talk through why we do and don't like them. And then we can kind of do a more comprehensive, like, okay, who collectively, who all stays, whatever. But Zuccarello, I'll just say, is on my list of, I want him as long as it's not alongside everyone else being brought back. But let's talk McCarron.
Hold on. I don't know if it's your internet or my internet. It sounds like you're in a phone booth.
Let's make sure my settings didn't change. No?
Could be mine. It just fucking the storm started again, so I might.
I think it's yours,
we're back.
but people will chime in and say if we're
good.
Oh, Mateo says Z's internet. Okay.
Sick.
Anyways, McCarron.
Oh my god. Sorry, God.
McCarron reportedly wanted a 5x5 when he got traded to Minnesota, and that's why Nashville was very out. Bill Guerin is foaming at the mouth to bring this guy back. Now, I don't know if that means he's just going to give him what he wants and hope that he's not willing to go test free agency and push it further, or if he thinks that he can get some kind of discount, like, hey, Z, there is no better way for us to launch the hat than if we get a 4x4 NMC on Michael McCarron.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to always make me nervous going long-term, big dough. Because again, he was really fucking good. He was a hand up. Didn't expect him to be as good as he was, both in the regular season, like the second they acquired. Like,
hang on. I need to help you elevate your hand. I believe your exact words were, I wouldn't give up a fucking 6th round pick.
Yeah.
Because you just hated him. But
that was that was me standing up for my boy Zuccarello. I remember that trade happened. I was like, oh my god. The first thing I thought about was the tweet. Yeah. I mean, I think I did correct myself when we came back on. I was like, well, he's a fine player,
right?
And people are like, well, it's 2028. I'm like, you don't have any fucking picks.
Yeah, I'm just done giving up seconds. Done with it. Period. But no, he was great. And like, yeah, we can point at the goal that wasn't scored. If we're going to talk about things that went wrong in game 5, that's like not even on my first page of notes. So like we can move on from that. In a vacuum, I'd love to have him back. I'm not giving him a 5x5. Like that Bill Guerin will do it too. Like, I'm not saying it's happening, but like, I think it's well within his bag to be willing to make that contract offer with the cap going up the way it is. I'm scared that that's what it's going to be. We're going to have to table that one. But again, do I want a Michael McCarron back on this team? Again, depends on who else is brought back. But like, yeah, he'd be a great guy to have back. Not for 5x5. Fuck off.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. It's just like, hey, he was great. I want to have him back. That being said, like, and like, listen, game 5, he ended up getting an assist and he got a goal that he scored that came back, obviously. But the second, like, he's your second line center, you're just sitting there like, oh my God. Like, that's not good.
Right. But if he's playing,
he played great. Like, he played fine, but he's not ever a top 6 player. Like, you realistically are going to be nervous about like a third line if you're a contending team. But he's a good player. Yeah. A 5x5 is going to scare the shit out of me. I don't know if I do that. If there's a team that's going to like throw a ton of dough and a ton of term at him, I'm like, okay, you know what? I will let you do that. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
But again, love the player. Very impressive.
Clay deters music. Can Stramel replace McCarron?
Not next year.
Yeah, not next year. Like, eventually, like, yes. I think that's kind of how we project Stramel, but he's coming off an injury. He's gonna spend a lot of this year in Iowa, I would imagine, unless something goes just crazy well for him. Like there's other guys that already deserve shots before him. Like Hunter Haight needs to get real looks this year. And if they box him out with signing all of the players that you see on this screen, I might break things.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like Hunter Haight, I'm like, not just should get time this year, he should be in your lineup game one.
Yeah, I agree.
There's been a handful of games that even when he's played like 8 minutes, I've loved almost every shift. And he showed plenty of traits to be like he could be a third line center as early as next year. As early as
a week ago.
Like he should have. I would have put him in the playoffs. I also, so I mentioned this earlier. I would on record last. I was like, I put fucking Lambos in right now. That's another guy I would fucking play.
I've been an advocate of his as well, and it seems like the writing's on the wall. The team that just doesn't think he's any more than a 7 at best, and I hope they trade him so that he gets a chance somewhere else because I'm just kind of tired of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to refresh here because it comes back for like 5 seconds, and then all of a sudden it is just a shit show. So I'll be right back.
Yeah, you do what you need. And I don't know what all has been thrown into the chat here, Mateo. Have people been throwing in? Like, I'm curious what everyone listening thinks about acceptable contracts here. Again, maybe you like the guys, maybe you don't, but let's just say if all of these players in a vacuum have to come back, what's the contract you're willing to give them? For me, Matt Zuccarello, I'm saying 3x3. McCarron, I'm gonna really grimace as it happens, but we're not including the no move clause. But the 4x4, like I can at least be talked into it. Or if he wants the $5 million, a 5x3. Like I can at least wrap my head around it. 5x5, I'm completely out on a 31-year-old who, again, is going to be featured in your bottom 6 pretty heavily. Got to wait for Z to get back to talk about the great JoJo, because that's going to be a really interesting one to watch play out as well. Vlad Tarasenko is the one that I'm really unsure of as far as dollars, but everyone throw into the chat if you've got opinions, thoughts on what these guys should make if they come back. Z, let's talk JoJo, Marcus Johansson, on the definition of a sweetheart deal. I don't think we've ever gotten more production per dollar from a non-ELC player in Minnesota Wild history. Are we both on the same page that him returning would be a little concerning?
Thank you for your service. And this is coming from the biggest, well, no, you know what? Second biggest Marcus Johansson fan in the world. Again, especially when you have some players that are going to be looking to get into this lineup and at least get some games or at least have the opportunity to make this team out of camp. We need more roster spots, even if it's like guys like Hunter Haight, who ideally are playing center. You need spots open. We can't bring back every fucking UFA or whatever. So as much as it pains me, I fucking love the guy. And it was very funny to me last year when they gave him like a less than $1 million contract. People were like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like,
that was
I don't know. Like, I don't know what you're being so mad about. Like, he's making less than $1 million. They could just bench him.
They were also echoing basically the mantra that you're peddling today, which is don't box out the fucking kids. And that's what felt like was happening. And he was an extension of that. But dude, I'm ready to like put his number in the rafters just for what this season was at what the dollar value was. It is great. He was great. And and this is what Russo has said. And like, I probably like, I don't know how you'd argue against it. Like he probably wants to make more than 800 next year. Good. Go get your bag. Not here. Not fucking here. And for me, oversimplifying, but if you take Tarasenko, Zuccarello, McCarron, Johansson, I am willing to have 2 of them exist next year on this roster.
My brain thought
drawing the line.
My brain thought that you're just gonna stop and exist next year. I was like, oh my god, what are we doing to the other guys?
They're getting relegated.
Fuck.
With Tottenham.
I'm gonna watch them every week. Still, fuck. Yeah. No, that's where I'm at. Again, and even Tarasenko, depending on the deal, I'm like, I'd be inclined to let him walk, let Foligno walk.
Would you give him 1 or 2
Zuccarello.
years at like 2.5, 3 mil if he was willing to take it?
Yeah, I mean, like, again, if you're letting Foligno walk
in a vacuum, is that contract acceptable?
Yeah, like a 2x3 would be probably fine.
Okay, because for me, I'm saying I almost lean that I would take him and Zuccarello back and let Johansson and McCarron be gone. If it's just Zuccarello, I'm totally fine with that too. But that's where my leaning is. And again, if Foligno is willing to be like the 13th forward, absolutely give him $1 million and say, like, thank you for your leadership and cool vibes and getting Marcus to give a shit, whatever. Zuccarello is the only one on this list that I'm like, if you don't get him back, I'm a little concerned. Bogosian, Petrie, like, I feel bad.
This was when I had a conniption. This was specifically when I had the conniption.
Yeah, I know. I figured this was the mental breakdown.
I like because it landed on once they were like, yeah, like, you know, if Bogosian's your 6 or your 7, that's pretty. I'm like, no, he is what he is now. It's not good. Like, he had plenty of stretches this year where he was completely fine.
Also, Bogosian being your 6 implies that Middleton's your 5.
Yeah, but I like, again, I want their. We'll see how Spacek's feeling. He should have a shot at this lineup next year. Damon Hunt should be in your lineup next year. Carson Lambo should have a chance next year.
Out. I think Spacek's gone this summer.
Well, I mean, if they fucking bring back Bogosian, I think it's obvious that Petrie's not coming back. But like, but if Bogosian comes back, then he's gonna definitely be like, okay, so I will never play. That's fine. I was second on fucking the whole Iowa Wild at points with like half a point per game. Which is crazy. But you know, it was interesting looking at there are a couple other scouting outlets that put out some new like organizational prospect rankings, and a lot of them have like Spacek at this point now, given that like everyone's gone, but like just how good he was this year and for stretches last year too. Like they have him 2, 3, 4 in that range as far as where he's at right now in the depth chart as far as the prospects go. And I think again, like Kai fucking played in the Olympics, played at the Worlds, like he's played legit minutes, and you also drafted him as at least was a single overage. He may have been a double overage. I can't remember. So he's like that. He should be playing right now. And I think there's plenty of teams that would give him minutes, at least a look. Like he especially this year, the guy made the fucking Olympics over David Jiricek, who you turned into Bobby Brink, who people I can't even. I'm not going to get into the Brink discourse. I'm just not going to do it. I know we will later. We will soon because we have to. Actually, what do you know? He's up next. Fuck. But
are you even looking at the screen?
I just looked at it. But I mean, like, there's not a whole lot more he could have done this year and for a lot of last year for him not, like, I don't know, the rationalization was like, well, we obviously can't, like, give Lambos and Spacek and Hunt like a legit shot next year, so we gotta bring back the fucking older guy. And you know what? Let me say this too. Shout out Zach Bogosian for being a fucking warrior. There were times in Game 5 I was like, oh, because I thought his legs just were gonna go. I was like, you know what? This guy's a fucking. I love him, but I think you can get more out of your bottom pair.
Yeah, no, you can. And
I should emphasize he was fine. Like, there were a lot of not good
hard. Like he was a punching bag for a lot of.
He's an easy punching bag.
He was fine. His body is failing him. He is breaking down. Like, Yes, he is one of very few guys left that is even allowed to play without a visor. That's how long he's been around. He
Hell
is
yeah,
he is one of two, I believe, Atlanta Thrashers left. So, like, dude's a warrior. All the respect for him. At this point, he just needs to go. Unless, again, I'll have the same conversation we had with Nick Foligno. If you are willing to come back and be the extra guy, like Petrie was this year, right? If Bogosian's okay not being a regular, I'm okay bringing a guy like that back. Keep him fresh. Give him way less games. And if he needs to come in a pinch, you know you can rely on him to not be a moron. But if he's in your starting six, no.
Yeah, again, if they bring him back as a 7-8, even that, like, you're still taking up a fucking roster spot for me. So, like, I'm gonna lose my mind. But, like, as serviceable as he's been over the past couple of years, even if you're giving young guys looks like a guy like Lambos, hunt more minutes, more games, or just a regular fucking lineup spot check, you're getting. I think there's just more on the table for you to get there over a guy like Bogosian. Again, like, if he wants to be a 7th and he's not going to play even half the fucking games and he's okay with that, okay, but that's still a roster spot. That's still a contract, and like that takes up a spot for those guys to be like in the mix. So again, love the guy, but thank you for your service. Legit, like, I'm a warrior. And he's a beauty. Obviously, a great teammate. Even Z, it was crazy with
I was going to say the Zeev Buium thing just gives me a little hint of, like, I kind of want him there for the young guys, if that's, like, truly how important and meaningful he was for Zeev Buium. But yeah.
Let's say, like,
dude, he's going to Vancouver for sure. For sure.
Hell yeah.
I think it was Matteo that threw it into one of the group chats earlier today. He's like, so Adam Foote's going to be coaching for the Wild next year, right?
No. He was so bad this year.
Was he bad, or was just everything bad?
No, it was, even when they were trying to sell, they didn't bluff. The minute distribution for some of the players, like, even leading up to the deadline, that ostensibly you'd be trying to, like, boost their value a little bit, didn't do that. And then the fucking deadline comes and goes, and you're still, like, scratching guys like Aturatu, or just not giving him more than, like, 10 minutes in a game, despite the fact that he's one of your best setters this year. Like, I mean, it was fucking, and his answers in the media were atrocious. He also just sounded miserable. So fair enough. It's not a good spot for him to be.
Mercy kill. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, let's, we can tackle this however you want. I guess just looking at this list holistically, Z, we got Bobby Brink, Damon Hunt, Carson Lambos, David Spacek, Oscar Olausson, Caden Bankier, Samuel Halavai, RFAs this summer.
Bankier's not, right?
Half or Bankier's, I don't know.
Bankier's signed. Bankier's signed.
Well, I'm going to look it up right now. I think ignore him then, but do you agree? Half or
Oh, wait, not. No, he's not. Just because you fucking interviewed Lorenz and he brought it up, I just mixed him and Lorenz up.
Okay.
Yeah, I would still bring back Bankier. It sounds like Halavai has made the decision that he's not coming back regardless.
The one that I'm blind on here, and I want you to talk about, is Oscar Olausson.
I love Olausson.
I'm not as familiar with this game. Do you think he is back? Is more the question.
I don't know. There weren't even, like, rumors that he could possibly get a game or two at the end of the season this year. I mean, he had a couple injuries even after he got traded, like a quarter of the way through the season. I mean, I think he ended up top 3-4 in points, and he's, like, got some legit skill. He's got a ridiculous shot. When you look at, like, when Iowa to say turned it around sounds insane, but, like, they legit played decent hockey down the second half of the season. A lot of that was some of the plays that he was making himself. So I would like to bring him back and give him at least a look. That's another young guy with skill that can move. Just gives you a different option. who's not 30 years old and you're like middle to bottom six. Like he's got something there. Again, will he be a full-time NHL guy? It's always going to be up in the air. Like when Colorado made that pick in the first round, he was one of my favorite players in that class, but it was always like if he doesn't hit his ceiling or sniff his ceiling, is he even going to play? I think it's still like a question, but like was really impressed with him in Iowa. Put up a bunch of points, and then I think he did have like two, maybe three different injuries even after. But I like when you look at your RFAs and when you're looking at like the very few UFAs that you are wanting to bring back, I just need them to prioritize some kind of like speed, skill outside of just like mashers. Like I don't think you need more than like 3 or 4 guys that their job that are run around. Unless you're fast and you can forecheck and mash, that's fine. That's one thing. But like, even when they were going well this season, there was a lot of times it was like it's literally Kirill, Boldy, when Eriksson X healthy, Tarasenko chips in here and there. Other than that, we don't really know what we've got coming for offense. But and that was even, and then like they acquired Quinn Hughes, and that like literally is. I think once he joined, he was top 5 in points on the team, which he's going to be anyways. But I'm just saying, as far as like the forwards go and the young guys that you can bring back, like I think you need to prioritize a little bit more skill here and guys that aren't just like, it's not a guy that you just draft like, well, he's got an NHL style, got the NHL frame, he's hardworking. Like I want to see some skill.
Is there anyone you don't want to bring back?
When I look at this one, I mean, like, just given what we know about Lavi, I'm not like freaking out about that one. I think there's still something that they have in bank here. Wouldn't be shocked if they weren't, but I don't know. Like he had a down year this year, got better second half of the season again, like a lot of those guys. But there's no one there that I'm looking at like, no way. Like, again, I want this team, the NHL team, to get younger. At least have guys that are like looking at getting games here and there that are younger outside of just like relying on like older players. So if I wanted to come back, if they were like, hey man, like Gustafsson's going to be out a month or 2, who knows like what happens? Like right now you're our number. Then again, like literally during the Olympics, he was like, yeah, I should be in the NHL. So I was like, holy shit.
That was argue awesome. At the results, like looked like he belonged.
Mm-hmm. Imagine he was like, look at my numbers. Look at that loser, Gustafsson. Look at his numbers and my numbers at the fucking Olympics, bud. He's like, oh my God. Holy shit. Where'd that come from?
I have 2 hips. Play me. Out of this group.
Let's just talk Bobby Brink, though. I cannot believe how fast it was like. He's awful.
Fans are insufferable with Bobby Brink talk. And again, I'm not going to sit here and try and tell you that he played a perfect game and that he didn't warrant getting benched or anything like that. But to give up on this kid and think he's a bum, you guys are all just fucking stupid. Come at me. I don't care. Like, it's insane that you guys hate Bobby Brink the way you hate him. I can't.
Yeah. Like, yeah, we talked about too, like he's got wheels. He's a guy that I thought should have been in for the call. Like he had the last game that he played in that Dallas series. He wasn't good. He also, again, I mean, down the stretch, scratch. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. But he gives you a speed on him. He's really good at the forecheck. And like some things that when the Wild had success for the few times they did against Colorado, even just look at the first goal they scored in Game 5 against Colorado. They turned the puck over behind Colorado's net. Like attacking those defensemen, getting in there, turning pucks over, being a nuisance. Like outside of just points, Bobby Brink brings you a lot of that. He's got good foot speed. He's a really smart player, and he's a pest down low. Not like the big hulking, like I'm going to put you through the glass, but I'm like a little fucking net, and I'm good at like knocking pucks free, maintaining possession, starting new ozone possession by turning pucks over, or like we saw, was it Boldy that forechecked or McCarron that forechecked on that first Johansson goal in Game 5? Like that's some of the shit that they couldn't do at all in that series versus Colorado because they were so goddamn slow. I think Bobby Brink, outside of that, and like he's young, and I think there's legit upside there still.
There is upside, and I'm like, for somehow, like people are coming at me like, you think he's a first liner? Like, never have I fucking said that. I liked that he got slotted in for a look there, but like, come on. He's coming in cold and you put him on the first line and first power play unit in the postseason. Like, yeah,
Against
I'd
Dallas.
put my shit down my leg too. Like, what the fuck? I think he is absolutely an impact middle six guy. Is there upside that maybe he like could be a first liner at some point in his career? Sure. But I'm looking at him as like, he's an awesome third line guy. Could be a solid, serviceable second line guy, but he brings so many things, and people are so excited when this trade happened. And maybe that was just because people were thrilled to be moving off of the trade that everyone thinks ruined the Wild when like we really didn't give up shit to get him. I'll still never get over how people think that we mortgaged our future in that trade. Like how I can't. I just
Give him
Bobby
like, and again,
trade
like
is such fucking bullshit. I'm so over it.
Again, like he comes in at the deadline. At some point, I think he also got hurt at one point. And then down the stretch, he got scratched a million times. Scratched to start the playoffs. And then, given the injuries or just given some really bad performances from some of the other guys they decided to try out, he played a solid, I forget which. So the last game against Dallas he played, he was not
dude,
good.
his Dallas game was no, but his regular season Dallas game,
goal
he was the
assist.
best player on the team.
It was like, I don't know,
alive.
man. He's a middle six guy. He's got some legit upside offensively. Like I think, depending on like if he found himself on a line with like Boldy and Eriksson at times, like he's gonna give you 40 points. He can, like he has that in him. Like, I mean, he was putting up in his first couple years in Philly, 35, 30 points, and that was on Philly before they got good again. Like,
I want to see him and Hunter Haight playing together. I think that could be a buzzsaw of fun.
Mm-hmm. I just think he does a lot of things really well. It's like, I'm not going to say like master of all or jack of all trades, master of none. I think there's some things that he struggles with, obviously, but he's a really solid two-way guy that plays with speed. He's a really smart player. And again, like, you're not relying on him to put up 1 million points a fucking year. Like, it's not going to be his job. Like, it's just crazy. Some of like that.
Just shut everybody up.
I do understand like the criticisms, but some of the fucking shit that I was getting sent my way, you would think that like he shouldn't have even like been good enough to go like sniff college hockey. Like it was crazy.
That's my thing. Like I am okay if you guys want to criticize his play. Like he wasn't great. He wasn't. But the people that just think he's a bum that should never play hockey again, go away. Please. The next guy on this list, Damon Hunt. If he's not on the opening night roster, I'm gonna there's things I'll do.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he should be playing regular minutes. Damn.
Agreed. I think he's earned it. Very funny, full circle, him and Juracek.
So good.
Oh, you can't make it up. But yeah, Damon Hunt needs to be re-signed, needs to be opening night lineup. We talked before, Lambos and Spacek. Those are the ones that I'm convinced just the writing's on the wall that there's not a spot for them. And I think Spacek forces his way out. And I think the team chooses to move on from Lambos. I don't agree with it. That's just what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, this is another thing where it comes back to also like they have to fucking start figuring this shit out in Iowa. It is shocking. And it got a lot better second half of the season. And it got to the point where they were even flirting with a playoff spot down the stretch, which part of that is an impressive turnaround. The other part of that is it's almost harder to miss the playoffs year after year. In the NHL, because so many teams make it, it's like hard to miss. But they've just been like demonstrably worse than everyone else. And like I remember when we first started doing this, it was like they got like it was like the year Judd bracket showed up. So like they didn't really have a whole lot of young prospects in the system as it was, or anyone that was like you were looking at as like a possible like soon to be Minnesota Wild player. And then they make those picks or guys like Boley turned pro. They draft Rossi, and it was like they were never going to be in Iowa that long, anyways. But it went from like an old team to like all of a sudden they didn't have like a defenseman in their lineup for like 6 months over the age of like 24 playing in the fucking AHL. And it was like, okay, well, I don't know how you think this is going to go, but I can tell you, like, there's 4 guys at your 6D that are playing their 5th pro hockey game. I mean, it's just like, it's not going to be good. But like Lambos the past couple of years in Iowa has been really fucking good. And he got a look against Columbus this year. And again, that was when Columbus had started playing well again, at least. But I really liked the way he played in that game. He did not look like a guy that was being timid and just trying to like go glass it out. He was comfortable like making stretch passes if they were on. He was also comfortable carrying the puck out, making plays, like not just dumping it in. Like I just think he's another kid that's young. He has really good feet, skates well, pretty smart as far as just like knowing when to go, when not to go, when like there's an option to like go try to make a play versus when to just like actually settle for throwing it in there deep or whatever. And it's just like, I don't really know when you look at like some of the contracts they decided to sign over the past couple of years, like I don't really know what he was supposed to do. And I don't really know what they thought they were drafting. Like, again, I think they probably looked at it as like, we're going to take a swing on like that highlight reel shit. But at the same time, if you fucking watch him forever, it's like, yeah, he had his bag, but he's a really solid defender and it's just like a pretty reliable 2-way guy. Like, but for me, again, should be at least in the discussion to make the team out of fucking preseason, but I don't, or out of camp or whatever. But it seems like the writing's on the wall. And if you haven't watched him for more than fucking 15 minutes since he got drafted, please stop telling me he should never play hockey. Like that's the shit. More than like the break thing. When I'm talking, whenever I like tweet something good about a prospect who's at Iowa or someone they drafted the last couple of years, if they got drafted more than 2 years ago, you could always fucking tell who's never watched this kid play a fucking second. Like he's terrible, bad pick. Maybe Judd Brackett should get fired. What the fuck is going on?
Dude, and the Judd Brackett hate is weird too. And one of the comments that came in when I posted yesterday saying that we were going to push to tonight, Bryce Muskego, when will the Wild have a top 10 or even top 15 prospect pool? If Judd Brackett is done after this draft, rate the job he's done for the Wild 1 to 10. First off, I don't even know how we can properly evaluate Judd when half of the equation is Iowa. And don't get me wrong, no one, no matter how good they are, is going to get every pick right. Like there's some that I'm sure Judd wants back, but like he's given every bit he can to try and bolster the pool. And the Wild just seem determined to destroy anyone that sets foot in Iowa.
But you remember too, like a lot of the guys are graduated, like guys like Rossi, NHL traded, Ogren, NHL traded, like Husatinov, NHL traded. So like, and up until 2 years ago, they had a top like 8 pool. It was just like a lot of those guys got traded. Some of them are now in the NHL and performing. So he's been great. I didn't love last year's draft. I like the Banach pick. But like the last year or two, I think just given where their pool was trending, like what their pool was trending towards, they tried to take some swings. Like they were going for like safer, projectable players. So like I really did not like last year's draft. Like again, some of the players I'm like, yeah, fine. But and again, I love the Banach pick. But like
it's
overall,
more left on the table.
Like C minus draft for me.
Yeah.
But look, earlier, like pretty much throughout his tenure when he's had multiple picks, especially multiple second round picks, he's hit more often than he's missed. So if he were to leave, let's say like because he's been in discussions for like other GM jobs around the league. Like, I remember, God, who was it? I think it was the Islanders when that job was available. They were like wondering if they're gonna go try to get Judd Brackett to come over. But you also look at some of the guys that have actually hit in Vancouver. You're like, hey, what do you know? Maybe you shouldn't have fucking shit canned him. But yeah, no, he's been good.
Yeah, the handling of him in Vancouver was beyond weird. Yeah. So to that point, I'll defend Judd without any hesitation. But again, we're talking about prospects. Like, he's absolutely going to have misses. Everyone does. But I mean, can you name a second round pick besides? I know you weren't as like excited about last year's, but like prior to that, like we've come out of every draft being like, God, Judd just gets a second round. He does.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been able to go out and find value. And I mean, it's always interesting when you look at like, oh, went off the board here, and then I'm like talking to my buddies at EP, and they're like, no, we fucking love it. Like, I think they had Hunter Hayden 28 that year. And find him midway through the second round. So I don't know. I think he's always like struck a pretty good balance between like swinging for upside early, balancing that with some safer picks, but like, and then really like tail end of drafts, he's willing to go take that home run swing. And I'm like, yeah, I love it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the players that he's drafted are either in the NHL here or like in the NHL somewhere else because I trade.
Yeah. Who we talked about several guys already in this younger group, especially when we're talking about the RFAs. Is there anyone else in Iowa, or maybe hasn't even landed in Iowa yet, anyone that you think could be pushing for minutes next year?
Yeah, I mean, like, I want to see how early Charlie Stramel is to being healthy to start the year. Just again, do I think he should make the team? I mean, probably not. But like, again, when I talk about a lot of the older players, like not bringing them back, I just want like availability for some of these guys to look at it and say, okay, if I'm put, like I could push, make at least get a couple games here and there. So I wonder about like what the recovery looks like for Stramel. That was a fucking nasty broken foot or broken ankle. Unbelievable. Fucking again, Wisconsin. Unbelievable. It's ridiculous. Fuck me. He had scored a couple goals against Wisco at Wisco, and he was giving it to the fucking crowd. It was great. Anyways, I wonder about guys Stramel though. Depending on how healthy he is. I wonder about getting if Riley height was up and down this year. And I think opinions have changed a little bit just in terms of like what the actual projection is. But I wonder if they're in a position to give him a game or two. Like again, I think there were plenty of games where he was playing with Olaus, and those two together were fucking nasty. Loved that. And then I do wonder about a guy like Bankier too, getting a couple games here and there.
Yeah.
But we'll see. And obviously we already mentioned Olaus, so Rager.
He's so fun. Anything else Minnesota Wild that we want to hit on here? I don't know if there's questions. Oh, yeah, I suppose we do have to talk about Quinn Hughes, huh?
What a post. Just ripping it up with the fellas.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird because, like, when the trade happened, I was very nervous. Just like, yeah, but if he doesn't extend, what do we do? Like, I'll regret this, but like, I'm not even nervous. Like, he is going to extend. It's just probably going to be 3 years.
I'll say it again. Even if he doesn't extend, you do that trade every fucking thing.
Yeah,
I don't care. I'm not even thinking.
I don't disagree, but also
it's gonna suck.
You don't recover from it like that. That cripples you.
Yeah, and like all things being equal, you assume full health. They have a chance that we've seen them the way they played Colorado all year. But again, it's not even worth like relitigating that, I guess. But like, he completely revolutionized the way that you play. Like it was like overnight they became like a top 5 team as far as like scoring from defensemen And like it was like a week ago, they were like 46th in the league in defensive scoring. They would get like Brock Faber having to go like point per game. They're like, he's the only guy. No one else has a point this year. It was just Brock Faber. But I do that every time. Again, like you look at the last couple of years, and this is where I think Hughes also really does fit in this conversation. Like Kaprizov re-ups, max term, max dollar amount. You make the trade a couple of years ago for like Marc-Andre Fleury. You've had other guys come in and say, yeah, I'll come to Minnesota. And then Hughes is like another one. It was like the one thing that made me nervous initially was like, I hadn't even had them on my radar. Then I talked to the agent. I looked over there, like, holy shit, wait, no, they're fucking good. That'd be fun. Let's go do it. And like he came in fit right away. But like it's just guys like that. Again, like I make that trade every time. Like you make yourself an appealing destination. And like maybe that changes if he doesn't sign, I guess. But like everyone's already talked about the fact he wants to be, or like there's speculation or whatever about like, oh, his brother is blah, 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 blah. But I'm doing that trade every fucking time.
Yep. And we've talked about it before, but I will, I guess, hold the one piece being, yeah, we want him here, but if he leaves, the level up for Brock Faber, I'll take that.
How, like that's another thing too. What a fucking playoff performance for Brock Faber.
What an unlock. Dude, if you had never watched the Wild play hockey before that first round series with Dallas, I'm pretty confident you're coming out of that saying Brock Faber is our best player.
Mm-hmm. He was, I mean, watching like the comfortability of like Hughes coming in this year and just watching him activate off the rush. Like there were so many sequences this year where like Quinn skated up the ice with it, throws it over to Brock, and it's like those are the first two guys getting the puck deep. I was like, oh my god, I'm having Matejchuk Hunt flashbacks from fucking Moose Jaw. It's like holy shit, they're F1 and 2 on the forecheck, and then somehow also F3. It's crazy. I love that they can play literally half the game. But yeah, no, they were very fun to watch. Again, like. You look at the roster of the past couple of years, and you've had like legit guys come here and say, "Yeah, no, this is a fucking awesome place to play." And then you like this year, you're a fucking unbelievable team. And remember, this time last year, we were talking about this. We were like, I don't know. And it was all of a sudden that Hughes trade happens. Like, oh shit, it's unbelievable what one player, like the second best defenseman, one of the best overall players on the planet, can come in and make that big of a difference overnight. It's always funny too. I had like Quinn Hughes has given zero inclination that he's not interested in re-signing at least like a contract at some point. Like,
people are milking.
I was mentioning that somewhere else. I mentioned that somewhere else. And someone was like, "Well, why the fuck hasn't he signed yet?" I'm like, "Well, he can't." Like other than the rules. That's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, why are you preemptively mad? Why are you mad now? It's like I'm in Boston. What do you know? I just go outside. I can go outside or log on to Twitter or both, and I'm fucking. It's the same shit now. Just preemptively mad. Did you see the fucking clips of Felger today? 98.5 Sports Hub. Oh my god. He hates good goalies that are on the Bruins only so much. It's crazy. He's saying that the Vegas Golden Knights are better off paying Aiden Hill $6.25 million to sit on the bench. The Bruins are starting Jeremy Swayman for $8 million.
But I mean, at that point, like you can't even take it seriously. Like,
no, it's like it's half a bit, but he does hate Jeremy. Like he hates every goalie. He always hates goalie.
Oh, okay, so this is just a bit. Got it. Like
they're out of control. I hate them so much. I cannot believe that's the number one fucking sports radio show in the fucking country. Oh god, they make me sick.
People like to hate listen.
I will never fucking forget. Before I completely was like, I can't listen to this shit on the way to work anymore. And I was like, oh my god, podcasts exists. There was one fucking caller that called into their fucking radio station. It was like if I don't know if you've been watching Tuca lately, but he looks like the windshield wipers, the way it goes back and forth, never makes a save. And they're like, all right, thanks for going. You know what? He's goddamn right. Tuukka Rask sucks, and he does look like a windshield wiper, and I hate him. I was like, this is crazy. Shout out Tony Maserati one time for saying that he would rather trade David Pastrnak than Brandon Carlo. They just don't like Pastrnak because he has personality. That's a big reason they say it too. It's great. It's a fucking miserable experience listening to them for 5 minutes.
Sounds like something.
Woo!
Holy shit.
Anyway, other than that, how's it playing this living? I'm going nuts. Anyway, I think there was someone else that put something in here.
I'm sure there's a lot of stuff starred. Anything that we missed? Let's see.
Oh, there it is. Toastinman 4003. I may be late, but you guys talk about trade candidates on the roster. That's where I was leaning earlier.
Okay.
I was like, oh, I am looking at moving an uncomfortable amount. Just like part of it's like open up cap space, roster spots. But it just feels like there's like when we were at first joking about the Billy G 4x4 special, which turned very real very fast a couple years ago.
That was very fun.
This is where I'm going. I'm like, how about we turn that around? How about we go not do that anymore? That fuels the UFA discussion, and that's what I was saying earlier about like I would be interested in doing some major uncomfortable surgery, and I think some of the shit that I'm willing to do is probably detrimental. I'm like, I want everyone over, I don't know, 30 years old is gone. Not really. That's not exactly where I'm going. But I just want more flexibility in this lineup because I think you look at the contracts that they've locked in over the past however many years. It's just like, well, he's in the lineup. He's in the lineup. Like I'm looking at guys like Hartman, Foligno, which is a huge locker room hit. And then in the past, we've talked about one of Spurge and Brodeen. I mean, then that's more understandable. Again, another massive hit to the locker room. But like at a certain point, I'm like, yeah, totally get it. You're fucking pro athletes at some point here. Like I'm not saying they should actually get rid of everyone, but like I'm listening.
But you are.
Like you have no assets. You have nothing. You have zero assets right now. And I'm not saying you're getting like a first round pick for Ryan Hartman. You're not getting a first round pick for Marcus Foligno. Like
at the deadline, maybe.
At a certain point, like you can accumulate a quantity of assets here. Like you look at what Utah did to bring in Mackenzie Weegar, whether you want to say that was a good idea or not. They had 1 million second round picks. They didn't use a first, they didn't use a top prospect. And like in theory, you look at Weegar, like that's like a potential, like not just in the short term, but long term, like that's a big addition to your back end, assuming he doesn't look like when Calgary's trying to beat out Vancouver for the worst team in the league, but they just don't have a shot when Vancouver's is bet. But I think I'm more so talking about more flexibility in the lineup, and if you could just accumulate like even they're not all first round picks, like second, third, fourth, like you can stockpile a little bit here when you have basically no picks right now.
Tanner Jordan, maybe the Blues take Brodeen and a Thomas trade opens up the options of moving Parayko for them again.
At this point, if you're Parayko, you got to be like, I'll leave. Also, like the Blues should try to get out of that.
Huh?
If they could have got a first round pick and Rademarka for Colin Parayko, holy shit. That would have been. That's the best deal Buffalo wasn't able to make. Someone leaked it.
Very fortunate for them. Yes. God bless St. Louis pizza.
I don't know, like how many guys on this roster are you looking at? Like, yeah, I'm listening. So I'm almost at the point where I'm basically listening on anyone that's not
Well, yeah,
Kaprizov,
there's only 4 names that I'm not listening on, but I think there are a ton of names, but it's kind of the flip of what we're talking about with the UFAs, right? Like, you can't get rid of all of these guys.
Yeah.
But you're talking about the guys like Hartman and Foligno. Like, yes, there's absolutely a world where you move, I think, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Ryan Hartman can actually get you a decent return based on what his dollar figure is, and looking at moving him at the trade deadline. Like, there are teams that want to bolster and they will absolutely give up a first round pick for that kind of a player. I think the Foligno thing is really tough because obviously he's like Billy G's like number one. Like, he's a made man.
He's the vocal captain of the team. You know what I mean?
Right. And like, you can't discount the physicality, but like, he is getting real fragile, getting hurt a lot. And again, you just need a different mix. Like, I'm not advocating that any of these players need to go, but to your point, if it's our only way to accumulate assets, like, you kind of have to look at it. I think the most interesting ones, and it's low-hanging fruit, but Brodin and Eck, you can get real returns for them. And yes, it makes holes in your lineup. No fucking shit. But guess what? Those holes seem to exist every postseason. So why not go and get someone that maybe isn't missing?
I would move it. I'm not
saying that if Eck is required to get a true 1C back, I'm listening to the conversation.
Sure. The thing is, like, then I look, I'm like, okay, I have a 1C and a bunch of maybe 3s.
Sure. Right now we've got a bunch of maybe 3s and a 2. So,
yeah, I just look at, like, we've talked about this before too. Like, it is unbelievable watching what happens when, like, just Eck is out of the lineup. Like, I think he does so much of this thing, and the fact that he's on like a $5.3 million contract for a couple more years.
I thought it was 5 flat.
It's like, it might be like 5.1.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe something like that. It's a ridiculous.
Well, it's a great deal. It's a great contract, and he is a super value again. But that's why you could get a real return for him and be playing ball, right? Hey, F25. There we go. Okay, I'm not advocating for that. I do think Brodin is the one that could make sense if there's a team out there that's in a contending window. Their blue line's a problem. Again, that's why I brought up him for Nugent Hopkins as an example. Dude, the biggest problem for I don't know how far it goes back, is being able to defend in Edmonton. Judd'z Budz immediately elevates that. And oh, wait, you acquire the one guy that Connor McDavid does not want to go head-to-head with? Great. Bring in Nugent Hopkins, who is on the same level of sweetheart deal as Joel Eriksson Ek. He has the pedigree. He's played with great players like Draisaitl and McDavid for long enough. He can figure out how to play with Zuccarello and Kaprizov. That is a way to get again, it's bargain bin 1C, but he's more of a 1C than Ryan Hartman is.
Yeah. I mean,
that's just trying to get creative because we cannot acquire a 1C current standings. Like, we can't.
Yeah. I mean, like, as much as I love Nuge, look like the past couple of years, like, what did he put up this year? 56, last year 49, year before that 67, and then the 2023 season was his 100. Like, I put up 104 points that year.
I'm not counting on that.
Other than that, the closest he's come is 69, 67. But I mean, yeah, again, like, I think we've talked about this before too. Like, you look at your lineup and you've got guys like Kirill who's driving that line. Boldy drives a lot of that line, so I guess it makes it a little bit different there. I think Nuge has like 4 more years, 5.1. It's a nice contract. I do worry about what else you're getting from, but again, like you said though, I mean, you can do that, or what's Ryan Hartman have, like 2 more years?
That doesn't even mean that Hartman needs to go. Like,
I'm just saying, like, we're looking at like the center depth. I'm just looking at the center depth.
Yep. He's an upgrade. But I think those are the types of things we need. Like, who are players out there that aren't actually a 1C, but are good enough to fill that kind of a role and be an upgrade? Because that we can at least.
I've brought this player up before. He just had a career year as
Leo
a
Carlson?
as a Wild fan. I would be like, because the reason I'm even bringing this name up is right now I look at the Boston Bruins and I do have zero faith in this front office making any good decisions with some of these players.
I don't know, dude.
Pavel Zacha. I'm nervous because he's going to be a guy that's going to be, he's got one more year left on his current deal. I will be, if I look at Charlie Coyle getting a 6x6. I mean, this was the best year he's ever.
A little different.
No, I'm saying when you're just looking at the money.
Yeah.
Like even money aside, Coyle getting 6 years today, I was like, holy shit. I mean, I guess now with the cap going up, teams are a lot more comfortable giving older players term, which I'm always just like, you guys just like aren't going to decide to learn ever. Like, yeah, look at what Florida gave Marshall. Like, that is so different. It doesn't make any sense. That is not an apt comparison, you lunatics. But shout out Charlie Coyle, had a ridiculous year. Best year of his career as far as like even just like the underlying numbers are absurd. He was so good for Columbus. He was the combination of him and like Olivier being like most nights Colorado's best line. I'm like, God damn it, I fucking love Matthew Olivier. He's like putting up 10, 15, 20 goals. I'm like, oh my God, beating up the entire league. And loving it. Fun. Don't forget, if you want to watch a very scary fight, you can go watch him fight fucking Curtis Gabriel back in the day. Oh my God. Fucking Gabriel's face is just painted red. Anyways, I'm nervous with what the Bruins are going to have to give Pavel Zacha unless he takes a sweet discount. He's about to be 30 when he's going to start 30, 31 when he starts a new deal. They're going to, if they want to give him
a lot of 31-year-olds take discounts.
Yeah. And like I look at the bad contracts they've already got on their books right now, so I would be like, yeah, they're probably going to do it.
You know what a lot of fans are going to ask for that's going to make me cringe every time? Alex Tuck.
I love the guy.
Yeah.
That is the epitome of like, oh, he's going to get big dough.
And it's
like I think my internet might be going here. Oh, no, I can see. I loved the gamble that Vegas did with that contract, like a 7-year deal at what was he making salary wise?
It was 5 something, but they like got real early on it, and it was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, because now we're talking about him possibly signing like 10 plus. That is a contract.
I think he said the conversation starts at 11.
But
and I'm pretty sure he wants like full term. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Mm-hmm. And again, love Tuck, love the player, love the way that he played. I mean, he didn't do himself any favors in that second round. Holy shit. But yeah, that's a scary one for me. What are your thoughts on a guy like William Karlsson from Vegas? They have limited cap space. Dorofeev, Anderson to sign, could be moved. I like William Karlsson. I think he's played like 15 games this year. The injuries starting to come and go. I think he's a solid center. I just like when you look at like
he's you're more trying to add
yeah, that's the thing, right? Like really useful player.
He's a less physical act, basically.
Yeah. If we weren't talking about trying to find a way to like bring in a potential, not even just like a stereotypical top 6 setter, but a top 6 setter for this hockey team in Minnesota. I don't know how much offense really get from Karlsson. Like he's had like 1 or 2, 3, maybe really good years. Actually, just the one really good year in Vegas. Other than that, he's putting up like respectable numbers. And the health's come and go now. But we'll see.
Tanner Jordan asks, is there a chance where Tage Thompson enters the 1C chat? I assume that means like a target for the Wild because he's dominated the 1C chat for a while. Just no, I don't know why Buffalo would trade him. Basically, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, still know it. So I will say though, I am very curious what their plans are with a guy like Noah Ostlund.
Sure.
Especially if they bring back Tuck.
I know exactly what they're doing with them.
Signing.
No, he's going to Vancouver. He has to. We demand it.
I do need it. I do really do need that. I really hope Lekkermaki can recover from this shoulder surgery and like start ripping it. It's gonna be tough. That shoulder surgery for a guy that's like a pure sniper. That's gonna be taller. But I need that U-guard in line. That was that fucking draft year. Just watching those throughout the ice. Oh my god.
Yeah. Dude, watching Zach Benson just hurts my
heart. Offer sheet the fuck out of him. He's going nowhere.
Yes. I would love to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, but, Kyle, you dirty dog. Fucking do it for me, baby. Offer sheet the hell out of him. Oh. But Tage Thompson is like the perfect fit. It's just not. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm just looking at
first half of the year when Buffalo was an absolute train wreck. I was at the front of the line ringing that bell, like, yes, get him, do whatever you have to, get him. Now that they've recovered the way they have, that there's no shot that he's leaving. So
now the Atlantic is absolutely terrifying because every single team's like, we need to start winning, except for maybe Toronto. Then they're like, you got McKenna, we're good.
Detroit,
we're back. Well, they're convinced that they're fucking.
I don't think I'll ever stop making fun of the Yzer plan. I'm sorry.
It's gonna, bro. Be patient. They've drafted the exact same guy 5 years in a row. They're all gonna hit. They do have my boy though.
Dude, their third lines are all gonna be so fucking good.
Mm-hmm. That's right. But on Buffalo though, they have got a couple huge decisions to make here. So, I mean, you know what's crazy too is we were talking about this last time we were on here. We were like, at what point do you have to give Consta Helenius a look here in the playoffs? I was like, I don't think they'll do it, but they should. Steps in and oh my god,
Helenius, by the way, the fuck is that shit? He on top of looking like he's 7 years old, holy shit, can the kid play?
Yeah. He's him. But I mean, they're gonna have decisions to make. That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
So again, if you're sitting there like, I don't know if you can afford that no Olsen guy.
Well, by the way, people carved them for the McLeod trade. It looks like it's
excellent trade.
It worked pretty well. They're gonna probably be doing a couple more swings of similar ilk. I'm just trying to think who is out there that is like truly available is the bigger question. Because
I don't think there's a whole lot of there's not really a whole lot of, with the changing landscape.
Cap's going up. Like no one wants to move
everyone
anything
retaining
out.
Their own players and like weirdly teams being less interested in like all the draft picks. It's like this is a weird combination.
Well, and we're in a weird, bizarro, upside down world where the Pittsburgh Penguins are the only team that announced like, yeah, we don't give a fuck this year, and they get the second seed in their division. Like what?
Immediately makes the playoffs.
Yeah, what? What about Dylan Cousins?
He's a big part of their futures.
Yeah,
really
I'd be
fucking
surprised.
Good. We talked about him before too.
The move like that, yeah. Like when he was getting moved from Buffalo, I was very interested, but I don't think Ottawa's planning on moving him. Shane Pinto, outside chance.
He should have
just because of money.
He should have got more like Selke love. He was ridiculous this year.
He is very good. Shane Wright would be not the guy I would target personally.
I'm interested in those guys for a lot of teams though. Like that's one where like when I was like looking at like right. Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily the fit here in Minnesota. This is me like I was talking to my buddy Anthony about this with like Bruins, and I was just like looking around the league and I was like, there are teams that don't know what they're doing with a guy like Shane Wright. At one point we weren't sure what the hell fucking Columbus was thinking about Kent Johnson, which was great because then like Bonus kept scratching him and the GM was like, well, obviously we're not trading. Oh, fuck off. It's like, wait, Okay, what are you guys talking about every time?
Obviously.
It's like, what do you mean, obviously? Fuck off. Go fuck yourself.
I mean, same with Philly, right? Like, no, Mishkov is a big part of our future. Why would you think that we don't like him?
Jet Luchenko in the lineup. Love Jet Luchenko, just saying. But it's guys like that. You have to. That's what I'm like looking around the league. Like, all right, what are we thinking with this player? Shane Wright's one that's interesting for maybe not for Minnesota for a lot of teams. Ken Johnson should be interesting for everyone, but I literally have no idea what their plans are with him in Columbus. Yeah, bring back Freddie. Fuck it.
Is Victor Rask still available?
I was just gonna say bring back the Rask. Bring him back. That fucking kitchen knife.
Dude.
He's another one of my DraftKings first picks. He's in Carolina. He's like 2,500. He's the cheapest player. And I was like, yep, he's like putting up 30, 40 points every year. It's an easy one.
I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the other part too. Is you're going down the list teams, not just with like young players that you're not really sure where they stand with the organization, if they see a potential future there whatsoever. But then you look at like the prospect pools too. Like, I mean, Utah has so many fucking guys. They'll be interesting to track what they want to do. Anaheim's going to be still going to be interesting to see what they want to do with a lot of those guys.
Yeah, that's true. And I think like we almost have to dedicate one episode in the next like month or so here to purely figuring out who exists out there that can somewhat try and be a Matt Zuccarello replacement. Because whether he signs for 1 or 2 years, whether he retires, whether he signs somewhere else, like I said, I think Danny Briere would be a brilliant man for bringing him into the fold for an overpaid deal. But eventually you got to find someone else. And the sooner you can get them in and have them playing on the same team as Matt Zuccarello, the better to transition, pass the baton, whatever. Speaking of kitchen knives, 86 in New Jersey.
So we got to get Quinn to lock up 3 years, and they're talking. I mean,
Quinn did just start following Tate McRae, as everyone freaked out about on the X machine.
Yeah, I saw that article that came out about the players really not like being miserable about this like Instagram tracker thing. And I was like, I don't like it. No, I'm like, okay, there's some that are funny, but I'm like, I don't think we'd have to do this constantly. I'm like, I'm uncomfortable. I don't need to know any of this shit. Also, there's another one from, again, definitely not saying it right. Austin Mon. Again, brought up Nico Hischier earlier. Love him. That would be a great pickup. Obviously, he's going to be cheaper than like a Robert Thomas. Going to be cheaper than like a Jack Hughes or any other really like top 6 center that's available. He's going to cost big. He's probably too fucking pricey.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying, lesser than like the St. Louis Blues wanting like the equivalent of 5 first-round picks for Robert Thomas. That's all I'm saying. But then he also mentioned before that, because I've seen mixed reports on like the availability of a guy like Mackie Samskevich. He's so fucking good. 6 skill, could score. Pest, like a piece of shit to play against, and he's another undersized guy. So I'd be really interested in him, but I don't know what Florida's thinking. Again, I've seen plenty of reports like, hey, he could be available, could not be. That feels like a guy that they would probably get every penny they possibly could for him, like every asset they possibly could for him. But I don't know. I think he's sick, so he was available, and you're not giving up an arm and a leg and like every asset you have in your bag. I would be very interested, especially just looking at him long term. I think he's locked up too on the contract somewhat recently, so it might make it more expensive. But huge fan.
I think it's going to take a touch more than Huawei. That's a lot of wild talk.
I don't know what else we're having.
Yeah,
on the menu.
I mean, we can talk about the other two series if you want. I don't really care. I know that we do need to talk.
Well, first of all, Sabres Canadians, banger. I cannot believe I have to deal with these two fucking teams for like a 15 more years. It makes me sick. I've said this a million times. It makes me sick to my stomach. Dobish was nasty. They also have Fowler waiting in the wings. That makes me sick. You look at everyone that's young that puts up crazy points, locked up long term on really good contracts. Makes me sick. I'm gonna die. Like this is insane. And you just look at some of the guys they've got coming. Makes me sick. But that was so goddamn entertaining. Even like the blowouts, I was like, there's just chaos left and right. Zach Benson ends up with like 65 penalty minutes this playoff. I was like, that is my fucking guy, dude.
I love him.
He's awesome. Such a piece of shit. I love him. But that series was just so good. I really thought like we saw this obviously in game 5, which is very different than Habs Sabres game 7. But how many times do you see a team pull that like comeback off in the third period and not go on to win in overtime? Like it feels usually like it's so deflated. They're at home. The crowd's going absolutely berserk. They started really picking up and dominating. That being said, key to beating Montreal apparently in the playoffs, don't dominate them. You have to let them cook if they're willing to cook. They were not willing to cook against Tampa Bay, no problem. They had stretches where they took over this game, but the third period, Sabres turned it on, and it was scary. But ridiculous fortitude in that overtime to just put it to bed. So many teams are like, oh, fuck. Like that's – we talk about momentum game to game. How real is that? I don't know. Period to period. When you've got a push like that in game 7, it's very real, and they shut that shit down. And Dobish made some ridiculous saves.
Yep. No, he played great, and – it's just so weird because I honestly can't remember the last time that the Carolina hockey team played a game.
I think now they've had a combined 20 days off during the playoffs because they had 8 or 9 days off in the first round. They got, 11? It's fucking insane. And like, there's a real chance they could be like, all right, Montreal, you had fun. This is how this is going to go. And they could put it away at 5.
My one concern is, like, Freddie Anderson was playing so well. For a goalie to have that much time off and come back in, like, basically cold, that could be their undoing.
Like, with a team with, like, 15 different snipers. They can score from literally everywhere. And they can score up and down that line. That third line for Montreal, holy shit. What a playoff. Like, that Texier, Doc, and Bolduc combo. That shot from Bolduc in Game 7 was the second goal. Absolute snipe. But they are a pain in the ass.
Such an awkward interview with PK.
So weird. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, well, you'll get like the rest versus rust debate here, but at the same time, I don't know.
I don't like that debate usually, but when it comes to like they got a hot goalie that like coming into the playoffs, that wasn't the expectation. That scares me that he might lose what he's got going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the team's going to lose a step. I think Blake, the Stank, and Hall are going to come out and absolutely make Montreal fans miserable.
Yeah, and then the other thing with like so much time off is you let Ehlers get fully healthy again. Like he got banged up at the end of the season in that Ottawa series. Give him time to recoup, get going again. But it's gonna be an entertaining series. Like I usually get like nervous about whatever the conference final matchup's gonna be with like a team like Carolina, but they're also it's like same identity, but this year specifically, I do think they have changed a whole lot of things. Like they make so much more happen in the offensive zone. They're not just pure volume. They'll throw volume at you. Like they're gonna fucking start throwing pucks from literally anywhere on the ice. But they're like the addition of Ehlers and then just watching like the Hall Blake Stank combo, what they can do with the cycle game and then just like putting people through the boards it's going to be a big time challenge, obviously, for Montreal. And Montreal coming off 2 grinding 7-game series. But
yes,
you look at Montreal, there's just so much talent up and down that fucking lineup. Jesus.
Yeah. I can't remember who said it or made this comment, but it like hasn't left my mind since. I need Rod the Bod and Marty St. Louis both suiting up for this series.
Hell yeah.
In which case, I'm taking Montreal in 3.
How much coverage do you think there's going to be? There's going to be like before the game, they're going to have videos of like Marty St. Louis riding the bike for 7 hours and then Rod the Bod just ripping bench press. Like they're like, look at these coaches.
No, they go eye to eye. They literally do squat jumps until one of them collapses.
I'm not tired. Rod starts sweating a little bit. All of a sudden, Marty brings out the He's like, oh, fuck. Oh, Balky got his ass.
Yeah.
My boy Dimitri put it a couple weeks ago on a podcast. Like, it is so funny when the camera goes to St. Louis on the bench, but if the ref skates over to explain something to him, but he's just like the disappointed. Dimitri's like the disappointed dad look at the refs every fucking, no matter how egregious the penalty is. He's just like the jaws out. He's just like leaning back against the glass. It's so funny. Oh, I love it.
He rocks. I love him. Then we got the other series where
this has the potential for the Avs to run him out the fucking building.
It also has the potential to go the other way.
I look at Colorado's speed. I think that is going to be a big time problem for Vegas.
The speed is a huge problem, but dude, Vegas has just gotten better and better as the postseason has gone on. I'm very confused at this point on whether or not Hart is a good goalie, because it seems like he's a pretty fucking good goalie right now.
Right. I look at I think context matters with Vegas getting better. Like Utah, obviously a tough matchup, first playoff series, whatever. And Anaheim were so good playing the one series. I was like, we're both going riverboat. Fucking gambling it. We're just gonna go up and down the ice. And Anaheim's like, oh, we have significantly more juice than you. We promise. We will fucking run you out this goddamn building. And they were like at certain times in that Vegas series, they were like, there were a couple games where I was like, oh my god, they're like defending really well. This is weird. Like I don't like this. But I look at Vegas getting better in that series, and part of it is also just like Anaheim's so young, so bad defensively. Yep. And like again, a couple good performances with their back end, but like there was just way too much for Vegas to exploit. And I think they're still like almost breaking even power play and penalty kill. I think they're like almost even as far as like outscoring the opposition's power play, which is crazy. And that fucking shorthanded goal from Marner in that last game, legitimately outrageous. That could be the difference. Playoff Mitchie Marner, baby. If Vegas is going to do it, playoff Marner, as we've always said.
It is. Carter Hart is a big piece. Yes, playoff Mitch, which I don't know
That's
why.
My pick.
I don't know why
Vegas.
Toronto never made the postseason, but hey, I'm glad we finally get to see postseason Mitch. And dude, Dorofeev does things to me. Tomas Hertl has not been awesome by and large, but he's turning it on now.
Yeah, all of a sudden. Again, I am putting a lot of that against.
I know that it's against the Ducks, but it's still, he's got that feel and he's got the mojo going into the next series.
Yeah.
And for me, it's also looking across the aisle at there's injuries for that Colorado Avalanche team. I don't know what Cale Makar we're going to get. If you tell me that we got 100% healthy Cale Makar and you tell me that Lekkonen's going to be playing fully healthy, yeah, Colorado. But you pair just the confidence and continued leveling up. I don't care who it's against for Vegas. Avalanche went like, I don't know. I've got this like weird lingering feeling that Vegas is going to come in and surprise some people.
Well, I mean, let's just say like I'm at the point where like I watched Colorado almost shift after shift decimate Minnesota. Yeah, again, we can bring up but they were getting fourth line production in game 4 and 5. Like Park Kelly's got like 20 goals this year in the regular season, despite like his underlying numbers being terrible. But like they've just got dogs up and down that lineup.
Yeah.
And if Malinsky's also the one for me where I'm looking at like if he's in that lineup and you can push somebody under the like if Mance is playing fewer minutes, if you're getting fewer minutes from Brent Burns, that's going to make a huge difference because Malinsky is ridiculous. What a goddamn fine. God, Colorado makes me fucking throw up. But for me, like that's a big one. If he's healthy or like good to go, at least good to play, that's huge for Colorado. And I just still just look at the speed factor. And I mean, going from playing a 6-game series against Anaheim to going and playing Colorado, even with if they are a little bit injured,
fair.
That could be a real punch in the mouth. That being said, like Vegas, they've got a ton of really good hockey players. They're very good at playing that, like forcing teams to play their slow down game.
And they actually have depth down the middle, unlike the Minnesota.
That being said, I think they're really going down the bad juju train, which is, I guess, their brand. But their antics.
Did you mean to say choo-choo train?
Juju. This shit with Cassidy.
I get it.
Disgusting to me.
No, I get it.
Yeah, I don't care. Fuck that. I'm like...
No. I think it's bullshit that their answer every time is, we're focused on the playoffs, so we can't really talk about that. Like, all right, fuck you. I don't want him going to the Edmonton Oilers if I'm Vegas. Are you kidding me? You want him going in division? No. If Toronto wants to hire him and they say, yeah, we'll let you talk to him, I completely understand that. I think that people getting mad about that, take your poo-poo pants and go play somewhere else. Like, that is competitive advantage. I do not want this coach that we know is good, but we had to let go of. I don't want him playing in my division. I think that is completely reasonable until the league changes the language of these contracts to dictate that Vegas can't do it, because Vegas is not doing anything that they cannot legally do. Now, if they just say no one's allowed to talk to him and he can't coach next year, fuck Vegas. But if it ends up being that they just don't want him in the Pacific, I will support it.
I mean, on one hand, short. On the other hand, he's not your fucking coach. You gassed him with 8 games left. There's a good chance you're going to be playing him. He's going to go to a good team, whether it's in the West or the East or in division or not. You're going to probably play that guy in the fucking playoffs again. And again, I don't give a fuck if it's the Edmonton Oilers. If you're Vegas, you can't fucking outplay Bruce Cassidy's coach team. And the fact, like, I think it was the language in the quote where it was like, well, we're not saying no outright. We just, not yet. Like, we haven't,
Agreed. I think
like,
that they're
fuck
like,
you.
Well, we're actually in the middle of a playoff series right now, so we don't really have time to think. Like, shut
no,
up.
motherfucker. When you fired him, you knew exactly who you were going to let him talk to and who you weren't going to.
Right.
That guy won you your first fucking cup in his first fucking year. You should at least give him a heads up. Like, hey, if these teams are like, I know it's like pro sports, and I know there's always going to be a competitive advantage thing.
We don't know that hasn't happened, in fairness.
And they're like, Bruce understands that. And Kathy's like, yeah, no, I get it. What the fuck is Kathy? Like, everyone's like, see? And I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up. I'm sure that's how that conversation went, you fucking idiot. My God. What's Bruce gonna be like? I'm going to fucking kill them. I'm going to kill someone.
Why are people shocked at this after the way that they treated Marc-Andre Fleury leaving the organization? Like, after that, I am never going to be shocked at them treating someone who's done right by them like absolute garbage. It's just not shocking to me.
Yeah. Again, it's not shocking. I think it's bullshit.
If they don't let him coach anywhere, agreed. I will still stand by and defend them saying not Edmonton.
How many years left does he have on that contract? 2?
It might just be 1.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I think it's bullshit. Even if it's Edmonton, I don't like it. That's part of me being. I love Bruce.
Yeah.
And there's another part of me that's like, hey, no one hire him so we can get him on the fucking TNT panels because he is. Well,
and I think him ending up in Edmonton is the best thing for the league for just the story for like. Please give McDavid one more crack at it, but again,
imagine him yelling at Darnell Nurse. Shit that he would be saying.
I love that. That's where your pivot is.
Well, I just feel like the guy's making $9 million.
Hang on.
95% of the time, it sucks.
Let's see. I changed my mind. I think it's absolute bullshit that they won't let him talk to Edmonton because I need him yelling at Darnell Nurse.
He's gonna literally run onto the ice, jump up, and 2-foot all of their goalies in the face. He's gonna lose his shit. It's gonna be awesome. But I just don't like it. I think when you've got a guy like Bruce Cash comes in year 1, wins you a fucking Stanley Cup. And again, you look at this year specifically, literally just didn't get any goaltending whatsoever from anyone.
Yeah.
I think you should be doing going out of your way to doing right by that guy. I just think you should. So I fucking hate it. I do not like, and again, the bullshit of we're going to the playoffs. We don't know, but maybe we'll let him talk to him. I'm like, fuck off.
Agreed.
Just say no. Just say no.
Agreed. And
you already knew who you didn't want him to go fucking talk to.
Right. Well, and let's be real. If it was anyone besides Vegas, I'd probably agree with you. But it's Vegas, and it's just I'm just
I'm
so
with you.
unshocked.
I'm with you with the not surprising. I just hate it. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I fucking think it's bullshit. So, and
I still think it's a league matter that they got to fix.
They've lost their fucking second round pick, and fucking Torts has another $100,000,
which is very funny to me.
He's
the first comment too was that is on John. Oh damn.
We had no idea that was gonna fucking happen. It's well, you hired him. What do you mean? Have you ever seen him before? Did you know the guy? And Torts is the Brad Marchand of coaches, where he's just racking up record-setting amounts of fines. Brad Marchand's between suspensions is over $1 million, and in fines he's well over $1 million in his career. Torts is gonna he's giving him a run for his money right now, dude.
Wait, no, that can't be fucking true.
Marchand? Look how much he's given up in fines and suspensions.
Not suspensions. You said $1 million for each, right? Or total?
Sorry, total.
I was gonna say if he hit $1 million when the max fine is $5,000, that's Hall of Fame worthy.
Absolute yeoman's work. That's yeoman's work, sir.
That's insane.
That being said, I think you will be shocked at the amount he's given up just in fines because he was getting fined.
I believe that, but $1 million would be absurd.
I mean, at one point he was getting fined 7 times a year, the max amount allowable.
That's still 35,000. 35,000. That does not.
He's had some
million
big boy.
Salary. Yes, with games missed, I believe it for sure. God damn it, Brad Marchand.
Oh no. Total fine or total? Okay, yeah, 30,000 in fines and 1.4 million in suspension.
See, that checks out.
That's awesome.
Do you now understand why I'm shitting my pants over thinking that you meant $1 million in fines? I'm like, holy shit, dude.
I'd be like, he's getting literally fined every game for the first 10 years of his career.
It's like Dumb and Dumber when they're posted up. They pop out of the new red Corvette. They're just handing out money just for you, for you, awesome. For you.
It's great.
Fuck. Brad Marchand rocks. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about in this series besides Bruce Cassidy?
Yeah, I mean, Oh, we'll see. Guys like Hurdle, Dorofeev rocks. Just such a sniper.
Dude,
Again, we'll see how that back end looks for Vegas, but
Jack Eichel might ruin the locker room.
That's a great point. Noted.
I hadn't considered that.
Yeah. Could, he hasn't yet, but he could this series. Bad guy. Well, he's a bad guy, but
everyone's sitting there waiting to say, "Told you so."
It'll happen.
Man,
he won't like one of his teammates' Instagram pictures. Yeah, as I said.
Yeah, I'm probably putting way too much stock as well. Like, hand up, admittedly, just not having the real Cale Makar, I think, does big damage to this Avalanche team. And I don't see how he comes back healthier in any way. Like, there's something fucked up there in that shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, again, that's what I would say. Like, it has the potential for Colorado to let's just like run the table here. Because again, part of this for me is just go like the step up from Anaheim to Colorado in the fucking conference final. That being said, like that's what I was saying earlier. Vegas is very good at forcing you to play their game, so it wouldn't be like a fucking shock if they won. I'm just saying, like when I just look at these two teams, even with the injuries, like that Colorado team is fucking relentless.
Yep, agreed.
And like it was very impressive watching them do what they did to the Minnesota Wild in 5 games. At a certain point, it was like McKinnon he's like, all right, that's enough of that. Give me the fucking puck. I mean, his nose was bent in half at one point. And he said, I don't need to see. I'm going Clydesdale mode up the fucking ice. It's unbelievable. But I just think Colorado's got too much. They're too fast.
It would only be funny for a select few people, but I would legitimately piss myself if during the Super Bowl, Budweiser, you know how they always do their classic Clydesdale commercial, and they had Nate McKinnon cinched up to one of them. I would die.
Need it like I need air.
All right. Well, there's the 4 teams remaining: Colorado, Vegas, Carolina, Montreal. It's going to be fun. I'm very sad. We have to report. Yes, we've got some CHL commitments to NCAA hockey.
North Dakota, man. Oh my god.
Not going to be great. Not going to be great. Fuck me.
I think whatever team drafts Keaton Verhoff would be smart to let him play another year in college hockey. We've talked about this before. I think that regardless of, unless you're like a true, like no first overall pick, no doubt about it, ready to play right away. Like, I mean, again, Cale Makar played 2 years. Bouillon played 2 years. Quinn Hughes played 2 years. Like, the move is to let them go. And like, whatever team takes them, they're not ready to compete next year anyways.
Well, I feel like it was a different conversation at the start of the year where it's like, shit, he might be the number 1 pick. Now it's like, is he the 3rd or 4th best defenseman on some people's boards? Like, I think he's going to land in a spot that's going to be okay with him going back. I think he needs it, and I don't want him to come back. I want him to get the hell out of there. I don't want Carson Carrolls to be there. Like, fuck that. But
and then they've still got my boys there. Will Zeller's still there. Cole Simpson's coming, Minnesota boy. Cole Simpson, Simpson. For a second, I was doubting myself. What he just did in the USHL was disgusting. He's so fucking nasty. But that back end's they're also adding Ethan McKenzie, the overager for this year's draft. Cooper Simpson, sorry. There it was. I knew I was doubting myself. Correctly. Cooper Simpson, Will Zellers up there. Oh, God. And then they've got Ethan McKenzie coming in. Carson Carroll's coming in. Keaton Verhoff should stay. Holy good Lord. That is. Yeah. But well done. Well done. That's fucking crazy. They're going to be a problem.
A little bit.
Carson Carrolls is so goddamn good, man.
Is he your number 2 this year? Blue line
for defenseman.
Who are you taking, him or Fairhoff right now?
I think I feel better about the overall game. Like, I think as far as pure upside, like, you're looking at a guy like Keaton Verhoeven. He's a 6'4" right shot D-man, skates really well. Whatever, moves puck out. It's got a booming shot, legit offensive upside. But like we've seen, it's been a slow process with his like defensive reads the game overall in general. Carson Carroll's is just like, what do you need him to do? He's got tons of skill. He's got a really good shot. It's going to kill penalties. He's going to be on your power play. He's a transition demon. And now this year, especially, like he's always done this, but this year, some of the hits that he was throwing, and not chasing hits, but just like he gets everyone on the train tracks. And it is unbelievable. But he can give it to you any way you want it. And he's a problem. So I think I think at the end of the day, he probably will end up being my number 2 defenseman behind Chase Reed. It is crazy now looking at like the mock drafts where it's like McKenna 1, Chase Reed 2, Stenberg 3, Carroll's 4. Malhotra sometimes in there at 3, 4, 5. Actually, more often than not, he's in there at 3, 4, 5, especially with Vancouver getting the 3rd overall pick, which I don't know.
Yeah.
Cole just said, I keep seeing Landon DuPont highlights pop up on my feed. Yeah, it's been a long time since anyone's watched a defenseman his age playing junior hockey the way that, like, the amount of times he's legit taking over games. He was doing it last year as a draft -2. And this year as a draft -1, he's been out fucking outrageous on a really good fucking Everett team. I'll be curious to see where he lands. It's gonna be a big get for whoever lands. Landon DuPont. Might have to break out the bank for that one. Back up the Briggs truck.
No, dude, he's for sure just gonna go to Denver for limited dollars, and it's just gonna be goddamn it.
No, shout out
to Minnesota.
Tanner Jordan. Beauty.
No shit. Tanner Jordan, you might have to jump on and talk to us a little bit, buddy. That's sick.
Yeah, no, Everett's been last couple of years, they've been legit. God, Landon DuPont, though, Jesus, he's a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, Carson Carroll's, Ethan McKenzie, Keaton Verhoeven on the same fucking college blue line. Good God. That is disgusting. That's unbelievable.
Don't love that. And let's see it. I think you had one other one, Mateo. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck. Ethan Belchetz going to Michigan State, continuing the trend of big motherfuckers who can play hockey going to Michigan State from the CHL. Holy shit.
Like, yeah, he's going to be a problem in college hockey as well.
Is Michigan State just like done now caring about American players? Like they're just like, we're just going to roll the CHL kids through and we just don't fucking care. We'll reload every year. Let's do it.
Well, I mean, it's there now. I mean, it's going to be interesting. So we're going to keep seeing changes in these rules, and they're not really trending in a good direction.
Meaning what?
Like, was it the 5-year cap amount of time you have from like you're committing to playing or whatever?
Yeah, I gotta imagine that's going to get changed in the next couple of years.
I have not listened to a single person who either covers college hockey or watch prospects. No one, not a single person has said, "Oh, that's a good idea." Like,
no, it's an awful idea.
Fucking awful.
No,
like,
everyone knows.
Who came up with that shit?
Because the NCAA doesn't give
loves it.
2 shits about hockey. They blanket statement everything, and as long as it works good for basketball and football, they don't really give a shit. So
yeah. It was really funny. I think last time we talked about Michigan State, you're like, I don't know, like they're losing some huge pieces. And within the next like 2 weeks, it was like Tommy Boyle committed, Chase Reed committed, Ethan Belchetz committed. It's like, holy shit. You spoke that one into existence.
Yep, I'll take all of the blame for that. Holy shit.
I'm just going to say it now. Hand up, my bad.
That's gonna be painful.
Oh yeah. Woo! But hey, at least Caleb Malhotra is committed to BU.
That's all that I care about. That's all that's ever mattered for me.
It's a huge piece for not being in.
I always forget you are BC over BU, right?
Yeah, I like their I like how easy it is for
from
me
a fan perspective.
I think growing up, I liked BC. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then as I started like being interested in seeing what I could finagle as far as like press passes and like sitting in the press box, BC was like, yeah, we don't give a shit. Come on up. I was like, this fucking rules.
It sounds like you're gonna have to get out here for either the North Dakota or for the Michigan State series. Because apparently there will be players to watch. So I'm told.
Oh yeah.
Just outrageous. What's the range for Belchets? Like, what's the earliest you can see him going, and what's the furthest you can see him sliding if the draft happens today?
Earliest I can see him go is probably like 4 or 5.
Okay.
I can't see him falling past like 12.
Okay. I was not expecting that answer.
You look at him like, especially as the year went on, like as this season's gone on for Windsor and Belchets, you saw him pick up to the point where it's like more often than not he was playing that game. It was like, no, I'm going to take over right now and be like an elite power forward. Again, it's always going to come back to like how much can the speed or just like the overall skating game improve.
Is the skating gonna scare people off at all?
Right. It's like, are you going to get that premier power forward, or are you going to get like a Nick Ritchie? Who's like, you see the flashes, but is the give a shit meter on every game? Or are you going to try to play junior hockey? You know what I mean? Like there's like, I think there is like a legit wide, like people want to look at him and say like, oh, you got the floor. It's like, well, I mean, I've seen plenty similar profiles. Like he has legit upside. Like he is ridiculously good.
It was a tough year too. Time missed, but the upside's for sure there. I just, with the players that are around, I was expecting you to say like the high end for him was like 7-ish, and that the low end was like mid to upper teens. But if you think 12 is his cap, I'm definitely not the one to argue.
Yeah, and I think it all comes down really to like how big of a run on those defensemen are we going to see like at the very top of the draft. And it's very possible that it's just like immediate. Like I think
there's got to be 6 going in the top 10, right?
You look at like Dax and Rudolph. Weirdly, there was so many scouts who were like, even when he's put up like 2.5 points per game, they're like, I don't think this should be working this well. And then he just became undeniable. Like, all right, yeah, no, he's probably going top 10. All right, he's going top 10. It's like, I don't know why I fucking said that. Hand up, my bad. But like again, like I do think guys like Ryan Lynn won't go top 10. Xavier Villeneuve won't go top 10.
No.
Malte Gustafsson could. Albert Smits is gonna.
Oh yeah.
So I think there's a lot of like defensemen that like everyone thought highly of beforehand, but as this year went on, it's like, oh shit, okay, we're talking top 10 now. But it all depends on like just how early they do take that big run, and it always happens. So, and this year is like the year for those guys to go early. But we'll see.
That we will.
Ian Belchets, fucking Michigan State.
Go figure.
Oh, college hockey fucking rules. For now.
What
else we got?
That's all that we had in the queue.
Sweet.
It's about as much as my brain capacity.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds like Tanner Jordan's got to reach out to us and get us his info so we can have him on as a guest in one of our upcoming weeks.
Talk silver tips. Who else was fucking?
Well, I'll leave it to you. If there's anything else you want to close on, I'm game. I got nothing else.
I think that's about it for me, sir.
Did you say yeah, sure, or yes, sir?
I said for me, sir.
Yeah, sure, sir.
I said whatever you think I should have said. Clown has no penis. That's what I said. Why are you so sweaty? I was watching Cops.
Tanner, I don't know where else you exist on social media. If you're on Twitter, just DM at State of Hoppy. We'll talk. Otherwise, yeah, Z and I are quoting completely different TV shows, so we're just totally off the rails now. I think that's all we got.
Hell yeah, brother.
And
just got a text from Eversource. Power's going out tomorrow morning again. Cool. Cool.
How do you know that?
They just texted me and called me.
Hey, heads up. We know that the power will go out.
We're doing it. We're taking motherfuckers down. Anyways, see you next week. Maybe. In theory.
Maybe.
Who cares?